Dr. Prequel Koda. In the previous video, we were talking about the escape characters and format specifiers in C programming language, which we have been kept using in many programs we performed up to now. So, I have also given a palindrome program in the previous video. If you did not watch the video, the link is given in the description. You may go and watch it. And today we will move on to another chapter in C programming language, which is named as array, which is not only important in C programming language but also in many other programming languages like Java, Android Studio and many other programming languages. So first of all, we will define this topic array for the video now. An array is defined as the collection of similar type of data items stored at contiguous memory locations. So if you are given a bulk of data and set and assigned to store it in the computer, we use this array which will help us to store similar type of data at a time, okay, in contiguous memory locations. In the memory locations of your computer. So array are the derived data types in C programming language which can store any data type such as int, a float. It can store the data type if for example int marks 10. So this int is storing the marks, which is an array which we are keeping it in the bracket. So there are two types of arrays which we will be discussing now after scrolling down. By using the array we can access the elements easily because we have named we have given that x a name so that which can be accessed easily. So here is an example which will give you a further more clarity. In a sports game, you want to store data of all the players and give them score. If in basketball there are 162 players where there is a need to store all the variables, so it is very tedious. So here array helps us to group a huge data under a single name. You do not need to separate variables for each data type. So it can be easily done like this. In players 162. By using this, it will automatically give 162 players names. It will start giving player 1 name and player 2 name. It is very hard to type everything and store it. So with this array you can easily store the data. There is a program at the end which will give you more clarity on this concept. An array is a fixed number of data items that are of same type. Once you add it, you cannot change it unless you want to change. You need to go to the main program where you have assigned and change it. Only problem with array is that it can only fix to a specific value, like we have assigned to int. It only takes integral numbers. As I have said, this is a condition. Data items in an array are referred to as elements. The elements in an array must be of same data type, int, double, float, long. If we are using int, we need to store only integral values. If we are using double, we can write integral values and decimal points too. And same with the case of float and long. You cannot mix all the data types. No such thing as single array of int and double. This is also another condition. If you are assigning to int, you should only limit to there and you should not assign to double. Declaring an array in a program to a normal variables that contains a single value. As I have said that if you are going to assign for int, it should be only limited to that. Difference is that you need a number between square brackets. This is a condition, very important condition. You need to assign the square bracket if you are going to assign any element or number. So we are using long data type, numbers and 10. This is an example of array. If you are going to assign for long, you need to be limited there and write the numbers which belong to long. The number in the bracket determines that how many elements the array contains. This is known as the size of array or array dimension. The number or element which are entering into the square brackets are known as the size of array or array dimension. Data items stored in an array are accessed by the same name. You need to select an element by using an index or subscript value between square brackets following the array name. As you know that index is something which will arrange the items in an order or sequence. So you need to arrange this index in the square brackets that follow the array name. Index values are sequential integers that start from 0, as we have discussed in the previous video. Arrays are 0 based. 0 is the first index value for the first array element. If you are going to assign 10 numbers, 0 will be the first number up to 9. For an array of 10 elements, index value 9 refers to the last element. So if you are writing int numbers 10, so the first number will be equals to 1. No, 0. Second number, this is for just an example, this is not the actual content, number 2. Like this, it will continue up to the last number. The last number will be 9. 10 will not be included because 0 is also been included. 0 to 9 will be 10 numbers. For an array of 10 elements, yes, it is very common that we assume that array starts from 1. Refers to as off by 1 error. Assuming 1 to be the first value is known as the off by 1 error. You can use simple integers to explicitly reference the element that you want to access. Explicitly in the sense, to access the array you need to use explicitly reference the elements that you want to access, in the sense it should be revealed fully or completely shown. To access the fourth element in an array, you need an expression array name 3. Okay, I'll give an example. I will provide a code for this. You can understand it very easily. Visualizing it makes it simple. You can also specify an index for the array elements by an expression in the square bracket following the array name. The same points are repeated. The expression must result in an integral value that corresponds to the possible index value. It is very common that we use loop after each to access each element. Okay, we will now discuss about the array out of bounds. If we use an expression or variable for an index that is outside the range or value or of array, a program may crash or the array contains garbage data. This is referred to as array out of bounds. So here is an example which will provide you furthermore clarity. If there are 10 variables in an assigned data, so when we are given a name array name 11, if you are going to exceed the value 11, then your array is out of bound or error. If you give an array name 11 and you are using 12th variable or name, then your program may crash or it is named as array out of bound. The compiler cannot check array of out of bound errors. Also, array indexes are within boundaries. Okay, 11 in the sense it is only limited to 10. 11 also will not be included because 0 to 10 is counted as 11 in the array. Okay, assigning values to an array. A value in an array can be stored in an element by specifying the array elements on the left side by an equal to sign. Here is an example which will give you clarity. This all theory we have been talking about assigning values to an array. Okay, if we are given some grades 100, determining student marks, it is 100 and it is equals to 95. We are giving it a limitation that it is only up to 95, not more than that. The values here 95 is stored in the grade array 100. Can also use variables to assign array values. Okay, I will give you an example which will give I will provide the code which will furthermore give you a perfect picture what array is. Okay, initializing an array is assigning initial values to the element. Defining a value for an array makes it easier to detect mistakes, because if we are defining it is a free path for the array to detect mistakes and provide us errors. To initialize values to an array, you can simply provide the values in the list. The values in the list are separated by commas and the entire list is enclosed in the braces. So here is an example. Int counters 5 equals to 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will change the numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is what we are talking about, that index values which we have been limited to. In counters equals to 5. So we are including 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is not included because already it is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hope I have made myself very clear on the concept array. Now declares an array counter which contains 5 integers and initializes each element to 0. We have did the step in advance. It is no problem, no worries. Int counters 5 equals to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Declares an array named integer which set the values integers 0 to 0, integers 1 to 1, and if we are given the integer 0, it will only assign to 0. Integer 1, it will assign to 1. Integer 2, it will assign to 2, and so on. The code continues. Okay. It is not necessary to completely initialize an array, because if you are giving integer 5, it will take all the elements up to 4. You need not to worry and initialize each and every array for the program. If fewer initial values are specified, then only some equal number of elements are initialized, remaining are set to 0. Okay. In the first three values, this is a float example. Float sample data 500 equals to 100.0, 300.3. So if you are giving the value 500, it will take all the data from 0 to 499.999. Okay. It will not at all take the value 500, because we are using float. We are going to count each and every decimal point. These first three values are set to 100, 300 and 500, and remaining 497 are set to 0, because here we are initializing the values 100, 300 and 500 specifically. If we are just giving the float sample data 500, then it will include all the 0 to 498 numbers. Okay. C99 compiler added a feature which is called designer initializer, which will allow enclose an element number in a pair of brackets and specify array elements can be initialized in an order. This is an example here. Float sample data 500 equals to, we are initializing 2 to be 500.5, 1 to be 300.0 and 0 to be 100.0. Int array 6 equals to, this fifth element is assigned to 212. So here is an example for assigning the number we want to we require. Okay. Example of traditional initialization. This has already been explained in the creating a simple calculator program. Hash include studio.h hash define months 12, int main, in days it is months 31, 28, 31, and so on up to 12 months. Index, for index equals to 0, index is greater than months, index plus plus. Printf month percentage d has percentage 2 days. This code has already been discussed in the previous videos. If you did not watch, the link is given in the description. You may go and watch it. Now today we will put a full stop to this blog by giving an example of the array. So let us go into the GDB compiler, which is very easy to use. So the link is given in the description. You may go and use the compiler too. Let us go into the GDB. So let us start writing the code. Int marks 10. Okay. I, n, and sum will be equals to 0. This is a simple program for determining the average of random numbers. Okay. And now we will print a function. Enter the number of elements which you are, where you are in a requirement, elements, and then scanf. Output function and input function, percentage d, and addressing it to n, it is number of elements. And now we'll use the for loop. For I equals to 0, I is greater than n. As we are using for loop, we are placing a semicolon after every initialization. Okay. Plus plus I. Okay. And we'll open curly braces. This is a loop function. It is a conditional loop. So let us print a function which is enter the number percentage d it is an integer. So next we will address it as I plus 1. Okay, and scanf, we will address again it to an integral number and marks I. Okay, and there is a last line, sum addition assignment operator equals to marks. Okay, addition assignment operator. If you did not watch the operators video, the link is given in the description. You may go and watch the video. So let us now write a statement that prints our average, sum by n. Okay, and then lastly print a statement that sum is percentage d, because we are using the int, so here we are using the percentage d and putting an end to the code by keeping a semicolon. Let us check the recheck the code and see whether there are any errors in our program. Hash include studio.h int main. Yeah, there are no errors in my code. Let me just compile and see my output. Okay, yeah, there are 0 errors in my code. Let me just start the program and I will enter 3 elements which are to be tested, 5, 4 and 9. No, let us initialize it to 6. So our sum is 5. 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 6 is 15, 15 divided by 3 is 5. So using this program you can determine the average of the given elements or